Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll dive into a shocking story in the aerospace industry. How a company that was once one of the biggest names in the field is now facing the risk of complete bankruptcy. United Launch Alliance, ULA, once a powerful force in government space launches, is now struggling with numerous challenges. With increasing rumors about the company potentially being sold, there is speculation that their biggest competitor, SpaceX, might be quietly preparing to acquire ULA. To better understand this situation, let's review the events that have led to ULA's current crisis. You might remember that earlier in 2024, ULA announced the first launch of their new rocket, Vulcan Centaur. On January 8, 2024, Vulcan Centaur made its inaugural flight, marking a significant milestone in the company's history. This launch was not only a major turning point for ULA, but also held special significance for NASA's Lunar Payload Service program. Vulcan Centaur is designed to replace the Atlas V and Delta IV rockets and represents the first commercial effort to achieve a soft landing on the Moon. With the success of the launch after several years of delays and significant achievements early this year, many thought that the rumors about ULA being sold would subside. However, recent events have sparked new speculation about ULA's future. Most of their recent missions have faced obstacles, and the situation has worsened with the U.S. Space Force announcing that ULA must be held accountable for delays and pay a penalty. The U.S. Space Force has also revealed that the penalty is a result of two national security space missions being delayed. A planned satellite launch originally scheduled for January has been postponed to October, and the GPS-3 satellite launch has been pushed from June 2024 to an unspecified time in 2025, extending the delay to over 18 months. In addition to these issues, ULA is facing allegations of delays in adopting innovations such as rocket reuse, which has severely impacted their competitive edge in the aerospace industry. That's an overview of the current situation of United Launch Alliance and the challenges they are facing. Will the company be able to overcome the crisis and find the right buyer? Or will SpaceX actually enter the race to acquire ULA? We'll continue to monitor the developments and see what happens next in the aerospace industry. Given the recent developments and allegations, which we will discuss in more detail in this video, there has been much speculation that ULA might soon change ownership. This suspicion is further supported by reports indicating that Boeing and Lockheed Martin, the companies currently owning ULA, are actively considering selling the company. Negotiations with potential buyers are expected to begin soon. Interestingly, several companies have expressed interest in participating in this acquisition, including SpaceX and Blue Origin. Besides these giants, there is speculation that Cerberus, a prominent private company known for its strong management system and focus on government and national security missions, and Textron, a defense contractor operating in the same field as ULA, are also potential candidates. However, while many companies are rumored to be interested in acquiring ULA, the most intriguing speculation revolves around SpaceX. To understand the significance of this potential acquisition, we need to consider the relationship between these two rivals. It is undeniable that SpaceX's rapid rise has placed significant pressure on ULA. In recent years, SpaceX, with its low-cost launches and advanced technology, has created considerable pressure on ULA, which previously held a leading position in U.S. government launches. In 2020, ULA and SpaceX won the U.S. Space Force's Phase 2 National Security Space Launch contract, worth up to $3.5 billion. But let's consider the progress both companies have made since then. ULA has faced significant challenges due to delays in developing the Vulcan rocket, which forced them to shift the USSF-51 mission to their Atlas V rocket. Furthermore, they have yet to execute the USSF-106 launch. Meanwhile, SpaceX has been achieving impressive milestones. They have completed 50 Falcon 9 missions, including the USF-124 and USSF-62 missions on February 14th and April 11th, respectively. In the second half of the year, SpaceX plans to accelerate further to reach a milestone of 148 missions. Currently, SpaceX is leading the aerospace industry with an impressive portfolio of vehicles such as Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, and Dragon. However, if SpaceX acquires ULA, it could bring strategic advantages, such as beating their major competitor Blue Origin, enhancing their role in national security and defense launches, and gaining access to ULA's extensive experience with government contracts and valuable intellectual property. But alongside these potential benefits, there will also be significant challenges. Integrating two vastly different corporate cultures and addressing antitrust concerns could be a major challenge for SpaceX, especially as they are heavily focused on the Starship program. SpaceX already possesses leading industry resources and capabilities, and shifting their attention and resources to integrate ULA's systems could be distracting and increase costs. Additionally, there are reports that ULA is seeking to sell the company for $4 billion. However, given that the company's stock price has decreased over the years, ULA is currently valued at around $2.5 billion. With this figure, it seems unlikely that SpaceX would be willing to meet ULA's asking price. Considering this financial factor alongside SpaceX's recent priorities, the acquisition of ULA appears less feasible. Although the idea of SpaceX acquiring ULA may sound very appealing and could potentially lead to significant changes in the aerospace industry, the reality is that SpaceX tends to focus more on advancing their existing rocket technology and expanding their Starship program rather than pursuing an acquisition. While the possibility of SpaceX acquiring ULA has garnered significant attention, it's clear that this deal may face substantial barriers as mentioned. Therefore, we should shift our focus to other potential candidates such as Blue Origin, Cerberus, and Textron. Currently, Blue Origin seems to be the leading contender. The relationship between ULA and Blue Origin dates back to 2014, when ULA decided to reduce its reliance on foreign technology. At that time, ULA was using the Russian RD-180 engine in its Atlas V rocket, but decided to switch to Blue Origin's BE-4 engine. This decision was considered reasonable at the time, but the partnership has faced numerous delays, impacting the launch schedule of ULA's Vulcan rocket. The main reason has been the famously slow production rate of Blue Origin's BE-4 engine. If Blue Origin were to acquire ULA, it would create a formidable competitor to SpaceX in both the commercial and government launch markets. However, there remains a possibility that Boeing and Lockheed Martin might decide to retain ULA if they cannot find a suitable buyer or if market conditions change. The fact is that the sale of ULA has reached its final stages since the beginning of the year, but there has been no official announcement yet. Meanwhile, although SpaceX seems to have shifted its focus to Starship and recent large contracts from NASA, it's not out of the question that they might show renewed interest in the future. As we've seen, the future of ULA has significant implications for the aerospace industry. While we await new developments, it's clear that the challenges ULA faces highlight the importance of innovation and forward thinking in the field. As ULA's situation continues to be tense and the search for a buyer becomes more intense, no one can predict who the next buyer might be. Whether SpaceX will make a move on its longtime rival remains to be seen. But clearly, any developments in this deal will certainly reshape the landscape of the aerospace industry. Thank you for watching the video. If you found it useful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel to support us.